Okay, so that was actually really, really neat. I don't think I have a single actual problem with this. No, I don't. I don't have a single problem with this. I think this is the first episode that I've had zero issue with. To the point where I am not 100% sure what to say, because I don't want to lay praise on this, because one good episode out of, 19 shitty to okay ones. God, but okay, fuck it, whatever. I'll talk, but your weekly history lesson with Nozz, real quick. So, this whole time, like, in the back of my head, I've been going, like, okay, they're ripping off Rome. Like, a lot of this is very, very, very similar to Rome and ancient Greece. I like the polls, but I don't think they're actually going to do anything with it. Then the barbarian thing happened, and I'm like, oh, that's very, very similar to Rome, and that's incredibly, incredibly stupid, just like Rome. But now, this is just the fall of Rome. This is just the fall of Rome. So, okay, so for those of you that don't know your Roman history, in the democratic Rome, during times of strife and war, what they would do, like the Punic Wars, for example, when they're fighting Carthage, what they would do, because the Senate took too long to make really important war decisions, what they would do is they would elect a dictator. And the dictator would last until he wasn't needed, with a maximum length of about 6 months, I want to say. I think it was like 6 months was the maximum amount of time you could be a dictator, and at the end of that 6 months, if the war wasn't complete, the Senate could then elect someone else dictator, or they could, or they could choose to extend it. But I don't think very often they did that. I'm trying to remember. Like, it's been a hot minute since I did Roman history, so I'm like, this is a little bit bare bones here. But round about and I think the first emperor was Julius Caesar. First emperor was Julius Caesar. He did his thing, and then Julius Caesar happened, and then they didn't really have another dictator or emperor or Caesar, whatever. They didn't really have another one of those for a long ass time, because good old Julius abused the shit out of it. He abused the ever-loving shit out of it, and it didn't go over well. And then when the Roman democracy fell apart, and we got what's now known as the Roman Empire in about, was it like 25 BC? Like between 25 and 30 BC, I don't know. And it rose under Augustus Caesar. That was when the Romans start to fall, and that's when they started becoming a proper dictatorship. Yeah, like, I'm not, like, just thinking back, I'm not really sure why they made Augustus, like, permanent dictator. He was a son of Julius, or like a relative. I think he was a son. I want to say he was a son. He might not have been. I don't know. Romans are kind of fucky in that they, like, you're basically the naming is very, very weird. Like, there was 5 Scipio Africanuses. There's 5 of them. So if you ever, and he was like a really important dude. So if you like go back in history and you're like, and you're looking at the Punic Wars, and you're like, okay, we're talking about Scipio Africanus. The first fucking thing people ask is, which one? There were 5 of the fuckers, and 3 of them were alive at the same time. Like, it gets fucking weird. Like, Rome was a really weird place. But yeah, so Julius got killed, and his son Octavius was elected emperor in his place. Emperor was different than dictator. The emperor was basically the president, basically, and then the Senate, like, works kind of like how the Senate works in modern day America, in that, it's bureaucratic and slow and dumb. And then I think they annexed Egypt. And they annexed some of the Muslim lands. Actually, no, they weren't Muslims yet, were they? It was Ottoman Turks? Something like that. and they annexed some of their land, and it was such like a crushing thing. Like, crushing, like, oh yeah, no, this is all ours now. We're now the biggest fucking empire on the planet. And the Senate decided, okay, fuck it. Octavius, you are now dictator emperor for life. And we're gonna give you a new name because Octavius sounds dumb. Your name is now Augustus. And that's where we get the months October and August. You didn't know that. Bet you didn't fucking know that. July is named after Julius. And I don't... Yeah, so like... Yeah, there's a whole bunch of extra months on there. Really, our calendar should be like 10 months long. But it's not. That's why December is the 12th month instead of the 10th. Instead of just tacking it onto the end, they just put them in the middle. Yeah, so once that happened, Rome started to kind of go tits up because, hey, giving absolute power to a single guy don't go that well. It don't go that well. Hitler learned that. Stalin learned that. Lenin learned that. Fucking Napoleon learned that. Basically, if you go through history, every single time a civilization or empire gives extreme power and absolute power to just one dude, don't end well. Do not end well. Except maybe like Egypt, but I mean, when you think your ruler is the literal god, when you have a literal god emperor, it kind of goes a little bit better for you. And everything that I keep want to call him Octavius, because like, that's his real name. But everything that Augustus Caesar did is very, very similar to what Zolzal's doing. Like, no, I am emperor, I am in charge, fuck you, and then imprisoning political prisoners and people who, like, are accused of wrongthink, having no evidence, and then that evidence magically turning up later. That's very, very much what the next lot of emperors did. That's what I'm pretty sure Augustus did that. He was actually probably the nicest of the emperors, all things considered. Augustus did that. Caligula did that. Nero did that. Claudius did that. Like, a whole bunch of them. They're really giant assholes. And hey, look what happened to Rome. They got fucking taken apart by barbarians and exiled to fucking Babylonia. And then they all died of plague like 1,000 years later. Fun times. Actually, it wasn't even 1,000. It was like a couple hundred, wasn't it? Fun times. The magic duel, but going back to the actual episode, going back to the actual episode, like, the comparisons to Rome, really, really cool. I like that a lot. Like, it kind of, like, tickled me a little bit, like, ooh, we got some Rome in here. Maybe they're not as intellectually dishonest as I think, but you know they're gonna fuck it up later, aren't they? They're gonna totally fuck it up later. The magic duel with Lele and her sister, I like that a lot, seeing different applications of magic, because it's really clear that, unlike your standard universe, magic doesn't really have dedicated spells. Like, you know, like, in your average fantasy, it's like, oh, you cast Fireball by doing this. You cast Lightning by doing that. You got very basic, like, everyone has the same kind of spell set, and bleh, kind of gets tame and boring after a while. But I really like how they're actually approaching magic in that it's a lot more freeform, which I think is kind of be expected from anime at this point, really, but it's still nice to see, especially since it's such a generic fantasy world. Like, Lele taking chemistry and physics and everything that she learned from the Japanese books and science, and weaving that into her own magic, basically making magic tank shells, manipulating... I'm assuming she's manipulating air to fly on her staff. I'm assuming that's what she was doing when she was, like, tapping at it. Like, she was like, I don't know, doing something like that, like writing a formula down or something. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming she was doing, because everyone seemed to be like, oh, yo, no one's fucking done that before. Yo, that's genius. That's what I'm assuming. But then at the same time, seeing that same kind of concept applied to Arpeggio, her sister, in that she's taking her research of geology and minerals and using that and applying that to her magic. It's really, really cool seeing these two different but similar people. Like, Lele applied herself to science and chemistry and all that good shit. And, like, modern day science. Meanwhile, Arpeggio, while she doesn't have access to that, what she does have access to is geology. And geology, I'm not going to say it's a simple science, because it's not, but it's a lot easier to understand with a whole lot less. Like, you can understand a crystal formation without a mass spectrometer, you know? Like, that's not even the right fucking tool. That's not even the right fucking tool. What am I fucking... Yeah, but you don't need modern day technology to understand geology. To get, like, really down into the deep, like, crystal lattices and everything like that, you kind of need a little bit more technology than what they have, but you know what? She's doing it. Give her access to, like, microscopes and, like, crystallization shit, like, stuff so she can actually see what's, like, deep down inside the minerals, and I bet she could do some really rad shit. Fucking, I do love how Zoll's out just eating a fucking cheeseburger, though. He's just like, Like, it's like Hitler wearing blue jeans. It's fucking it's Hitler wearing blue jeans! That's all it is! Anyway, everybody, I think that's really all I want to say. Like, this was just a whole really cool bunch of slice of life stuff. Seeing Zolzal just go full fucking Caligula on it, while also eating fucking hamburgers. I don't think he realizes that's a Nippon food. Yeah, I like it. I want to see where this goes, and I want to see how they fuck it up. Yeah, and also we got this whole assassin thing now. I don't know. And everybody, let me know what you think down there in the comments. I'm hoping they don't fuck it up. They probably are going to, because, you know, it's this one. And also, if they fuck it up, that means I get to rant more. So, hey, you got your history lesson, you got an episode, don't make me angry. Hooray. Let me know what you think down there in the comments, and if you have any anime that you want me to check out, then hey, let me know down in the comments. I'ma add it to the list. And if you want to make sure that the anime you pick gets done eventually and I can't bitch out of it, then hey, you can always chuck a couple dollars in the Patreon bucket, because that helps me keep everything going, because so many of my videos are getting fucking limited monetization lately. It's pissing me the fuck off, man. I'm like, I already made a VidMe account, so when YouTube goes tits up, I'm already ready to just chuck all my videos on VidMe. Nah, I'm gonna get in there. But I ain't doing that yet, because YouTube is still bigger. And everybody, so thank you all for watching. As always, I am Nozz, and I will see you in the next video. But most importantly of all, I shall see you around.
Damn, I love my waifu. 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 She ain't nothing like you. She don't bitch and egg me all the time up on her cycle. Damn, I love my waifu.